Okay, it's tough love time. You may have heard that AI is coming for entry-level jobs, right? So data entry, administration, even customer service. And yes, that is absolutely true. And it comes with its own set of issues. Because if people cannot enter the workforce in these entry-level jobs, how are they supposed to learn the skills and grow if they have nowhere to cut their teeth, right? But that is not what we're going to be talking about in this video, because AI is also coming for some of the highest paid, highly skilled, most prestigious jobs out there. So let's talk about the 4 jobs that AI is killing first and what you can do about it if yours is one of them or part of it. And stick with me, because the final job I discuss is one that no one is really thinking about and no one will expect. All right, job 1, content creators. And yes, that includes you if you are in learning and development. All right, don't blame the messenger. But yes, content creators come right at the top of the list. Copywriters, marketers, journalists, and yes, even us in learning and development. If your job is instructional design, so churning out e-learning modules, creating content, slideshows even, AI can do that in minutes. And I have personally tested it and it is scarily good. Same for those L&D admin roles, which is, by the way, where I got started. But scheduling classes, sending reminders, all of that stuff, that is just a click of a button for AI. And those jobs are going to become more and more scarce. But here's the important part. That doesn't mean that you're replaceable. It means that business as usual is replaceable. Because if you're an instructional designer that creates content that is inclusive of neurodivergency, you're in. That's nuanced. If you're an L&D administrator who can also optimize messaging where learners actually want to engage with the training, you're in. Again, that is nuanced, and that is something that AI cannot easily replace or replicate. The point is, you need to differentiate yourself. You cannot just be a content creator or a calendar manager. You need to be the person that aligns learning with strategy and that brings in the complexity, the context, the nuance that AI cannot do. Content isn't impact. Content is cheap. Impact is where your job security lies. And if that one stung, good, because the next one goes to show that even the most highly paid, prestigious jobs are on the chopping block. Job number 2 is lawyers and compliance roles. On paper, these look safe. Highly paid, highly prestigious, takes years of studying, right? But here's the nuance. Large chunks of the task-based work that lawyers do, AI can already handle that. Think about it. Scanning contracts, reviewing thousands of case laws, and drafting contracts. AI can do that in minutes. It's literally what entire teams of paralegals used to do, and probably took them weeks, maybe months, depending on the case. But, and this is a big but AI is terrible at judgment. Let me give you a real example, and you can go and check this up in the news. But a lawyer used ChatGPT to put together their case, their argument. And while on trial, the lawyer quoted the case of Monroe versus Olivia. The thing is, that case never existed. ChatGPT has been programmed to give you an answer even if one doesn't exist. It just writes the next most right word. And so that lawyer literally quoted something, cited something that had just never happened. And that's why AI won't replace lawyers, because law is not just paperwork. It's judgment and negotiation. It's influence and it's empathy in these high stakes, deeply human, complex environments. And that holds true not just for lawyers, but for any profession. Whether you're a consultant, a doctor, a learning and development professional, the people who thrive will be the ones who apply judgment to ambiguous situations, who negotiate deals in rooms full of humans, who can influence executives, clients, teams, you name it, who can bring empathy and nuance to those complex human-driven challenges. AI can handle the inputs, but humans handle the context. And that's where your differentiator lies. And if you're nodding along thinking, okay, so the routine-based tasks of law and all the professions are out, wait until you hear job number 3, because this one hits professionals who thought that qualifications alone would keep them safe. Job number 3 is none other than financial analysts and accountants. Gosh, and this one might sting a little. These are the jobs that people assumed were safe forever because they take certifications, qualifications, and years of studying. But here's the reality. If your job is based around building out reports, putting forecasts together, analyzing data, AI can already do that. Big accounting firms are experimenting with using AI now for audits. Hedge funds are running AI predictive models. And so the grunt work is disappearing, and it's disappearing fast. And this isn't the first time we're seeing this. I have just finished reading A Random Walk Down Wall Street. Highly recommend it if finances are anything of interest to you. But one of the stories that really stood out was that there was this job called charting. And those people, again, highly skilled professionals at what they did, and they would chart the markets to try and help their clients beat the system. And then computers came in, the internet came in, and that job basically disappeared overnight. And that's exactly what's happening right now. AI is today's version of the internet back then for financial work. If your value lies in crunching the numbers or producing reports, your days are numbered, my friend. But here's the opportunity. What computers back then and AI now can't produce is meaning behind the numbers. Leaders don't just want a spreadsheet. They want to know what the numbers mean and what they mean for my business and what decisions do I need to make based on the spreadsheets. And that's where the human professionals are going to stay in the game. The survivors of finance and accounting are going to be the ones who turn data into stories leaders can act on. Spot the human and market behaviors behind the numbers. Build trust, context, and foresight that a machine simply doesn't have. So yes, the task-based side of finance is absolutely on the chopping block. But the strategic storytellers, they are going to be more valuable than ever. And if you thought losing charting as a profession was a shock, wait until this last job. It's one that hits really hard, and it's one that no one wants to talk about and no one even wants to think about. Job 4 is managers and leaders who don't lead their people. So yep, AI is coming for entry-level jobs, but it is also coming for managers and leaders, that kind of middle to senior layer of people managers who don't lead. So if your leadership style is basically approving timesheets, checking tasks off a list, and passing information up and down, then I am afraid to tell you AI can already do that faster, cheaper, and with way fewer meetings. And this is where it really stings, because it's not about losing the easy jobs or handing that over to AI. But this is going to expose managers who have forgotten that leading is all about leading people and not really about leading processes. Think about it this way. If your team sees you as the person tracking deadlines and forwarding emails, you're not leading, you're bottlenecking. And in an AI integrated world, bottlenecks are going to get cut. But here is the best news, because the managers who actually lead people are going to be the ones who thrive. The managers who inspire trust when things are uncertain, coach their people to grow, adapt, and stretch. Drive culture so that people want to be there, not just need to be there. Imagine your team looking forward to a Monday. And those who make tough calls in ambiguous situations. That is leadership, my friend. And that is what AI simply cannot do. And if you are in learning and development, this should seriously light a fire up under you. It is such exciting times. Your managers don't need another time management course, and they don't need another course on how to use Outlook better. They need to build those real human skills. They need development that builds resilience, a growth mindset, emotional intelligence, and that real human connection. And this is what really excites me, because the workplaces where managers are leading people, those are going to be the workplaces where people want to stay, where people feel that they are growing and developing and have a career in that workplace. Those are going to be the workplaces that thrive and grow. And those companies are going to be the ones that win. The rest, they will bleed talent, and AI will simply make that faster. So there it is. It is not just the entry-level roles at risk. All the way up to leadership can be in the danger zone. If they're all task and no human, that is why this conversation matters so much. So yes, AI is replacing jobs, but the people who thrive, the companies who thrive, those are going to be the ones that lean into being deeply human. The workplaces where managers lead, where people actually grow, where people contribute, they can see their impact, they're adding value, those are going to just be the workplaces that blossom. And honestly, that's the kind of legacy worth building. This isn't about protecting your job. This is about shaping the future of the workplace. A future that is more human, more connected, and more meaningful. And if you want a roadmap to get there, grab the AI-proof skills checklist. It's in the description below. It is a free step-by-step guide. Think of it as your survival kit in this AI storm. And don't stop there. In the next video, we are going to talk about how to work with AI so that it doesn't replace you. So yeah, subscribe to this channel. We are only going to grow and develop together. See you in the next video.